Hey guys, welcome to another video tutorial with me, Clarice. In this summer video tutorial, we are going to be doing some simple and cute parrots. Well, I'll be doing one and then you can feel free to take what you learned from here and then go and create more. Really quickly, my supplies, I am using Princeton Neptune number 6, number 8, Zen Art Supplies Miniature number 1. I've got my set of White Knights 36 handy on the side, and then I've got water on the side, and here's my palette with color. For paper, I am using my Baohong watercolor paper, and for the colors we're going to be tackling for our parrot is going to be olive green, green, and a little bit of Mars brown. And then for the beak area, we're going to be doing some carmine mixed in with white, or you could also use ruby if you want it to be nice and red. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off with, I'm going to break it down for you real quickly. We're going to do the head first, then we're going to do the body, and then finally the tail. And last, we will do the eyes and the beak. Very loose, very simple, very easy. Once we've done this, we can just go ahead and create some nice leaves and such and have fun with it. So let's begin. I'm going to start off with using the number 8 to dampen our area, and then we're going to use the number 6 to get color on there. So getting some water in my brush, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this light color that I have here on the side, just so you guys can see. So I'm going to get a little bit of this green, just so you can see the shape that I'm creating before I go in and I add darker color. So I'm going to get some of the olive green on the number 6 and keeping it ready. And then I've got some light green from my palette. I'm just going to go ahead and create the head, and then we'll do the body and go from there. So for the head, we're doing just a simple sort of arc shape like this. And we want to make sure it's nice and damp. So just like this, I've created the head. And then I'm going to go in and just lightly add some detail to the edges. Give us that nice, beautiful blend. That nice, gorgeous light green into the head portion of the parrot. And what's happening with the center or the eyes, the beak area, I'm just lightly dabbing all around, is we're gonna have this area to be black. Once it's dried up, we'll go in and add some black, but for now we're just gonna leave it as is. That's okay. And we're gonna go in and extend this down to the body. I'm gonna add a little bit of a brush at the bottom here before we go back in with the number 8, and we are doing a slant. So I'm kind of doing this arc shape, swooping it down this way and drawing the color from the head that we've just painted. So it's almost like an almond shape, but at a slant. If that makes any sense. Okay, and then now I'm just going to get a little bit of that. Without washing my brush, I'm going to get some of that green, the chromium green, and I'm just adding it to this portion. I'm just also going to be dabbing some into the face, just around the, the head, just around the top and the side. And then we're going to go ahead and add another sort of swoop on this side. And while it is damp, it's giving us that beautiful sort of blend. So I'm just taking the number 8 and just blending it along. And then again, dipping my number 6 in water, I'm getting some of the olive, and I want to perfect this area just a little bit. This is where his feet are going to be, and then we're doing the tail, which is going to start from here and go all the way down. And that's that. And I'm just lightly adding some dabs of color in here, blending it in nicely. And then again, getting my number 6, I'm going to get some of that chromium green. And we're going to work a little bit more on the wing here. So I'm just extending that just a bit, so it extends out a little bit like this. And then we want just a tiny bit of like a curve here, and this is where you can also end up using some of the brown that I mentioned, maybe the Mars brown or what have you, and you're just giving it a little bit of a guidance in terms of where things start and end in terms of his wings. Okay, so that's that. So again, without really washing off my brush, I'm going to get some of the Mars brown. Let's use Mars brown. And I'm just going to add some of that happening here, just underneath the tail. And then just a little bit underneath the wing. And just adding a couple of strokes here to give it some sort of, you know, like loose detail within the wing itself. Now you can wait for this to dry a little bit before doing that, or just go in like I am right now. Experiment with both and see. I'm even adding a little bit more of the green over here just to add some detail to the tail. And yeah, and now we can allow this to dry before we go in and add anything else like the facial features. So while we're allowing this to dry, I'm going to get some of that brown, and I'm just going to do these two little curves to indicate the claws. Very loose, guys. We're not trying to, you know, we're not trying no photographic, realistic painting here. So while this is drying off, we'll go ahead and add some leaves and such around this. I like to use the number 6 for that, but feel free to use any of your favorite brushes that you may like. So I'm washing off the number 6, and I will get I'm gonna get the dark green, which I really love, and I will use that to create some kind of like palm leaves and whatnot, just maybe coming out from here. And again, very, very loosely. Dipping the tip of my brush in water. You can check out the palm fronds tutorial that I have. I think I've got 1 or 2, can't quite remember. Definitely 1 for sure. And that should help you along if you're looking to sort of create one of these. In it, I have used a thinner brush. I'm kind of challenging myself here and using the number 6 to create this. I'll actually link the video to that down in the description here, so feel free to check that out. And if you like any of the products that I'm using here, feel free to check out the description as well. They are all listed over there. Just adding some more detail or darker hue strokes to the area where the leaves are starting from the stem. So I'm doing the front leaves, and then as we go, once I've created, once I've painted all of this in, what I'm going to do is add a second layer, but on a lighter scale. And you'll see what I mean in a moment. So just getting water on my brush, mixing it onto the side. I'm just going to go ahead and lightly add slightly shorter looking leaves in the background. And you can see they're like lighter because they are background. And then you can even give a little bit of a curve at the top there to kind of indicate where they are flowing or falling. Really and truly, you don't have to worry too much about how these work. We are mainly looking to get this guy over here going, and I just added the frond on a whim to have somewhere that he is perching. So that's that. So I think by now he should be dried up, and now we can go in and add the eyes and such, and then just add any more detail that we need to on the body if needed. Okay, so for the face, I'm going to use, for the details on the face, I'm using my miniature brush, and I'm going to get some black. And here's what I'm doing for the eyes. It's nice and dry. So the eyes are going to be really out wide. So here's one, here's another. Something sort of came out of my brush as I did the first one, so it looks a tad bit bigger. Now I gotta make this one a bit bigger. There we go. And then I'm just gonna do a line and another line. There we go. And then for where the head ends, just around here, we're doing something like, actually it's easier if we do a V first. This is where the beak is going to be, and then we're doing that little curve, and then we're just sort of painting this in black. And then the same thing on this side. I'm going to get a bit more black for this. And then we just go in with a little bit of the red once this is dried and just fill the beak portion in. Needs to be just a bit taller so it can go up to the eyes, and then we are pretty much done. I'll just add a couple of details on here now that the bird has dried up. So I'm going to get the miniature brush itself and get some of the chromium, and I just want to add like very loose little strokes to kind of really indicate feathers. And the reason it's dry is because I have less water on my brush, and I'm just going in for the color directly because I'd like the color to sort of just sit on the page instead of like blending into the page, and just giving some texture to my bird. just adding a bit of detail around the face to kind of tie in with the rest of it. And then just a little bit of a curve here, almost like the other wing is kind of peeking. And that's that. So now we just allow this to dry, and then we add in our, oh, actually one more thing before we do anything else. I would like to add a little bit of detail for these guys here, just the under bits. You could leave it as is or do what I'm doing. Maybe just see how it turns out and then decide if this is what you want to do. Oops, messed it up there. Maybe don't do it. Okay, now we're gonna wait for it to dry and then we'll go in and do the pink and then we are done. Okay, so things are dried up and I have zoomed in just a tad bit so you can see me go in and add the beak. And here we go, using my miniature brush, and I will get, I'm gonna get the ruby for this. So just getting some ruby from my cake, my colored cake, and I'm gonna go ahead and just paint this in. Now, if you feel like you've done it too dark, maybe use gouache. I'm doing a little dome and then painting this in. And here we go. We have our parrot. And that's that. So, let me know, guys. Loose parrot, simple, easy, artistic, painted, add some nice summer foliage, tag me in it. Hit the like button if you liked this video and found this helpful. Hit the subscribe button so you can get notified of other videos that I put out. And follow me on Instagram and Facebook so I can see your work when you do tag me. Yeah, and also I post a ton of time lapses and process work on there as well, beyond the videos that I post on YouTube. So maybe that'll be helpful for you. Yeah, that's it. Thanks guys so much for watching, and we will chat soon. Bye.